now joined on the line by Madison Iseman to talk about the upcoming premiere of the blockbuster movie Annabelle Comes Home, which debuts on Irish cinema screens throughout the country this week. And I suppose, Madison, for people that don't know much about Annabelle Comes Home, it is in relation to The Conjuring. It's a follow-on, and maybe you can tell us a bit about the movie.
Hi, yes, of course. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
So Annabelle Comes Home, our story kind of begins with demonologist Ed and Lorraine Warren, who many people will probably know from the Conjuring films. And it starts with them bringing home the infamous Annabelle doll.
Yep.
And on one unholy night, Mary Ellen stays over to babysit their daughter, Judy Warren. And on that same night, Daniela, Mary Ellen's best friend, invites herself over to check out the artifact room for herself and kind of everything the Warrens have built in their home.
Mm. And Madison, your character, Mary Ellen, can you maybe tell our audience and our listeners how the opportunity came about for you to be cast in the role? And I was just doing a bit of research there today, and I saw an interview there where you were with yourself and Katie Sarife, and basically about how you were all cast together, if I'm correct. You all tried out together for your roles.
Yeah, it was actually a really fun auditioning process. We were all cast individually, but through the process we were able to all read together. Me and little McKenna, who plays Judy Warren, we were the first two cast, and then they kind of followed in the rest of the cast around us. So we read with Katie, we read with a bunch of other characters who played throughout the movie. And so, yeah, we were all kind of just cast one by one, but it was a really fun experience. We actually got to do a bunch of the casting on the set inside the actual house where we ended up filming, which made a really spooky atmosphere for just our casting sessions in general. It was really fun, yeah. So I played Mary Ellen, who is Judy Warren's babysitter, and she's kind of the goody two-shoes of the group, but she's easily influenced by her best friend, Daniela, who takes over.
Yeah, and I suppose, Madison, the Annabelle Comes Home, it's kind of intriguing that the movie is both a sequel and a prequel, that it's set between the opening and the main plot of the first Conjuring film. So it takes the audience on from basically where Conjuring sort of left off.
Yeah, what's so really cool about this movie is it kind of fits in this universe, is right in the middle of everything. But, one of my favorite things about this entire franchise of the Conjuring world is all of these movies are able to stand on their own. So you don't necessarily have to see a movie before this one or really any of the other movies. They kind of just all live in this world together, but they stand on their own really well.
And Madison, maybe you can tell our audience a bit about in relation to the shooting of the movie, in relation to the production. Was the movie shot over 3 or 4 months in different locations, and was there an awful lot of block shooting done? And as a cast, did you become fairly tight knit group overall, the whole experience of shooting the movie?
Yeah, I mean, it was so much fun. Being able to shoot, this kind of movie with 2 other just awesome, talented girls was just really exciting. And they've become really good friends of mine. But it was fun. We filmed, I guess, about over 3 months, maybe 3.5. And we shot here in LA on the Warner Brothers lot. We did about 2 weeks of on-location shooting, which is just kind of outside the studio, and then what's really cool about our film is most of it takes place in the Warrens' home. So we were able to shoot majority of our stuff on the lot, and they built this beautiful 3-story house on this soundstage. And the production design was incredible. If you have seen the Conjuring movies, you'll be able to notice some of the same places in the house that were used, and it's a really nice Easter egg for any Conjuring fans.
And Madison, in relation to Annabelle Comes Home, the script writing for all the cast members, the writer James Wan, as we know, is an expert in relation to anything in relation to horror movies and won numerous awards. And working off a script that is handed to you from James Wan, it's almost like a rewarding experience, but a challenging experience at the same time.
James is a genius, he's built this universe from scratch, it was him, and he got these stories from the real Warrens and, their life and kind of what they went through, and from there built this entire world. He's incredible. We actually got a good chance to work with him, and he helped out some, especially during our reshoots, to help us tighten up things that were just kind of loose and whatnot. And, this was definitely a challenging film. I mean, it wasn't easy. We had a lot of stunts and wires and practical effects. But, James, he's a pro. He's so good at what he does. And he's really good at making these movies not only scary, but, they have a certain heart to them, which, makes the audience really fall in love with these characters. And I think that's really important, especially in this world. And also, our film has a lot of humor, which is pretty new to the Conjuring world. It's our movie's kind of funny, so it kind of brings a lightness to this world as well.
Yeah, and I suppose as well, Madison, getting to work with Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, who plays Ed Warren, and Vera Farmiga, who plays Lorraine Warren. Two iconic actor and an actress in their own sort of right. So having them, working with them on a daily basis, it must have been a knowledge sort of finding sort of mission for yourself and the rest of the cast. Yeah,
they're incredible. Just alone as actors, they're just such talented people. I was really, really excited that they were going to be a part of our story because, they started this universe as well. They were there from the very beginning. They're Eva Lorraine Warren. So it was very cool that out of all the Annabelle movies, this was the one they got to be a part of, and we can tell their story in greater depth, of their life and where they live. One of my favorite things about the Conjuring movies, too, when I saw, I guess, the first or second one, when you're introduced to the artifact room, I was just so intrigued. I was like, what is that room? And how do they keep everything in there? And so it was exciting. We got to explore that, not even just alone, but with them, so it was just an honor to be able to work with them in general.
And Madison, how would you describe your own character, Mary Ellen, in relation to Annabelle Comes Home? If someone put Mary Ellen, say, for example, in the dictionary and left two blank sentences underneath, what would you like those two sentences to read?
Mary Ellen, she's almost motherly. She's definitely the goody two-shoes of the group. She really feels responsible over Judy Warren and even her best friend Daniela, who's kind of going through a hard time, and she kind of takes on the motherly figure of making sure everyone's okay and happy and safe, she can only do so much in a house that all the demons come out, so there's only so much she could do, but she sort of takes on that role of taking care of everyone.
And Madison Iseman, maybe you can inform our listeners and our audience basically of other projects that are in the pipeline for you in relation to 2019, in relation to TV series, in relation to further movies that maybe might come to us over here in Ireland and the UK in late 2019 or early 2020.
Yes, I'm actually really excited. Our new Jumanji movie will be coming out around Christmas.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, that'll be out 2019.
And Madison, basically as well, have you ever been to Ireland yourself?
Have I ever been what? I'm sorry.
Have you ever been to Ireland, Madison?
Tired?
Ireland. Have you ever been to Ireland, the country Ireland?
Ireland. Yeah, no, I haven't. That's the one place I've always wanted to go very badly. But I haven't had the chance to go. One day I will, though.